Welcome to Be Wise, African Enthusiast. And if you're new here, welcome to Be Wise African Network. This is a three-part series. Part 1 is our history. Part 2 is power. And Part 3 is the solution. This series will discuss how diaspora arrogance triggered a political reckoning. We will use a question to address Part 1. What happens when a community rejects blackness for decades, then suddenly needs it for protection? Minnesota didn't create this crisis, it exposed it. So let's talk about African diaspora versus African Americans, the history that created today's divide. Before we talk about unity, we must first talk about truth. Because unity built on denial always collapses. Right now, many people are demanding solidarity without understanding history. They want protection, alliance, and support without acknowledging the foundation that made that support possible. And that is not how power works. That is not how trust works. And that is not how America works. This conversation is not about hate. It's about history, responsibility, and survival. If you have not done so, I would like you to take this time to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share this channel with others. Your support is needed, valued, and appreciated. African Americans are the indigenous black people of the United States. That does not mean Africans who came on ships are native in any way like the indigenous tribes are. It means this: African Americans were forged here. Many came through chattel slavery, forced labor, racial terror, resistance, and institution building over centuries. The African did not migrate to America voluntarily. They did not arrive with a nation behind them. These Africans came on ships. They did not arrive with embassies, flags, or ethnic protections. They came and helped to build community, culture, and political infrastructure from nothing, under constant threat. Many African diaspora groups, however, arrive in America under different conditions, and this difference matters. There is a profound gap in understanding chattel slavery versus colonial migration, Jim Crow versus ethnic assimilation. Chattel slavery stripped people of language, lineage, land, and legal identity. Colonial migration, even under hardship, still allows connection to homeland, ethnicity, religion, and national identity. Jim Crow was a legally enforced caste system designed to permanently block these black Americans from power. Ethnic assimilation, while difficult, allows proximity to whiteness, policy flexibility, and institutional negotiation. These histories are not interchangeable. Yet many African diaspora communities arrive without being taught these differences. In some communities, religious leaders replaced historians. Imams, pastors, or elders became the primary source of historical explanation, not scholars, not books, not archives, and certainly not griots who have history based on ancestral knowledge. This leaves historical literacy dangerously thin. So when faith replaces facts, myths fills the gap. And when history is not understood, denial begins. Denial of Black American history often shows up as superiority. We are not like them. Separation. Their struggle is not our struggle. Silence when justice occurs. That is not our issue. This denial is not harmless. It shapes behavior. It shapes politics. And it shapes consequences. So these are the consequences based on the behavior that occurred in Minnesota. Now you see the consequences now includes the Ethiopian. So it is our issue. Your struggle, based on your isolation alone and based on your own words, is not our struggle. So let's do a quick reality check. Here's the reality many people do not want to hear. You cannot reject a people's history and then later demand their protection. You cannot distance yourself from Blackness when it is convenient and then claim Blackness when the system turns against you. Solidarity is not automatic. It is relational. It is built over time through respect, consistency, and accountability. This connection between African Americans and some African diaspora groups, it is not accidental. It is learned. It is taught through language, through community narratives, through who is blamed and who is never challenged. And when that learned disconnection collides with political scrutiny, legal consequences, or public accountability, there is mass confusion. But confusion still does not erase history. So America responds to behavior, my friends, not emotions. To my brothers and sisters from the continent who are in America, hoping to come to America, I want you to hear this and understand this very well. America responds to behavior, not emotions. Power responds to patterns and not pleas. And when alliances are broken, silence follows. So this moment is not about punishment. It's about reckoning and reconciling yourself to yourself, reconciling yourself to ourselves and our stories. So history ignored becomes a debt. And America always collects. If unity is truly desired, it must begin with truth. If collaboration is expected, it must be earned through understanding. And if survival is the goal, denial can no longer be the strategy for the African diaspora or for the African American. Because unity built on truth can endure, but unity built on denial always collapse. So this is part 1 of our history of this 3-part series that we are going to heavily go into. The next part is going to be part 2, power. Thank you. I look forward to your commentary, to your comments. Let's engage one another. Let's love one another. Let's respect one another. And let's build community and relationships that will last the test of time. Ashe and peace out. Much love.